Yo, what's up, dudes? Let's talk about bass design. Let's go from this to this. Or this. And then some. By the way, if you need some Saturn bass sounds or audio bass sounds, you can get some from my Patreon. Link will be in the description. So let's start from zero. I have this fairly simple bass sound. By the way, even this sound is on my bass pack. This is as simple as it gets. It's mostly like a sine wave with a pitch that falls down. So one tool that I do like a lot in terms of bass tone design is a Saturn tool. This could be done with Saturn 1 basically, but 2 is the latest version and I'm gonna use it. So one thing about bass, let me just let me look at this through an analyzer as well. So we have a decent sub, but we don't have much more here. So if you play a bass sound like this in a busy mix, you may not hear much of it other than the bass. I mean the sub, because there's not much more than that there. It's got a very healthy around 48, around 50 hertz sub note, which is a great placement. I've always said, being an engineer, I've always said place your sub somewhere between 45 and 60, and it's like the perfect place, and that is right there. So let me do something with Saturn. So what you can do with Saturn is it's a multi-band distortion unit. So technically you can do this. You can just create lots of different bands, probably as many as you want, but let me keep it simple for now. So I'll just create one, or technically now I have two. So the one thing you want to keep clean as possible is your sub. So I will start by processing this part of the bass, but I will leave the sub alone. So and now at the bottom you can see the crossover frequency. So I'll just leave the sub alone below 70. I don't want to touch it. So because ideally when you want that air being pushed really hard through from the speaker, you want to have like a clean sine wave, and let's keep it clean. So everything above that, let's roast it. Let's start doing something. So here I can now just drive this band. You can already hear a little bit. Let me actually go here. I can just quickly flick this on and off. You can already hear there's a bit of character being added. So then you also have this, it's like an EQ, and this is, I love this. Because it's already way different. Would this bass cut through the mix in terms of anything other than sub? No. Would this? Yes. So some other nice stuff here is obviously you can create as many bands as you want, but you can add a source, and let's create an LFO. So now you can map this to whatever. So for example, this band of this roasting band, like this EQ band, does have a great effect on the tone. Let me try. So let's map the LFO to this guy here. And let's make it more intense. It's pretty slow now. Let me make it faster. You can see here visually a little bit of info. Man, how nice is that? Probably make it a little faster, but less intense. Maybe this could be it. Let me try. So there's definitely more life to it. Let me create another band. I'll do something to this. Because if you want some like crispiness to the highs, just create a new band and get crazy. This also gets the LFO and I don't need it. And at this point, guess what happened? Because of bug, I had to load this project again. I did save it, but I lost the LFO settings. So let me just recreate it. Repetition is the mother of all learning. So let me just do it. So I had to restart. I saved the project, but all the LFO stuff was gone. So I think it was here, right? So give it a bit of make it a little faster. That's pretty sweet. Let's stick with that, and let me actually make the note a little longer because this is one thing I want to do. So just hit legato, and note will be long as the clip. So oh, it's nice and long. So one thing here, let's I pushed the dynamics all the way to counterclockwise. Let's actually go back and hear if we can hear the difference. This is the default setting. Now let me crank the dynamics up. It plays a little longer. It compresses the signal. One thing I like about Serum is the noise oscillator, and I know that now I'm compressing and I'm giving this a fairly heavy-handed treatment. So I want to add a little bit of noise, but I cannot go crazy because it'll blow up. So I might tone this guy down a little bit because I don't necessarily want like a bright noisy bass, but this is actually pretty nice. It's nice and long. You even have you can add sub here if you want to. Now this is something. See, I'm pushing the upper band and the low mids of that. Sometimes it's like you don't know what you're gonna get. You can also automate this thing. So let's try. So let's what do I want to automate? I could probably actually, let's do this. I'll just close Serum for now. So if I wanted to, because I said like I don't want like a crazy high, like a high frequency bass, so I could, let's automate this high stuff here. So I could do this. Let's do an automation. So the high frequencies will kind of fade out. They play a little too long. Maybe just a snap for the beginning to kind of give it like improved punch type of thing. Maybe even faster. That works. Let me try and run this whole shebang against a limiter, actually, not let me just put a limiter on the track and do one thing. Now let me just crank something up here. Let me crank up the bass. Technically the level is not exceeding 0 now because the limiter will be making sure it doesn't happen. But this way you can add even more distortion if you want. So let me just push something up here. Okay, that's a little too much sub. If I push the overall level, ooh, that's like some old Dillinger stuff. Because I know what he did was like you can tell by listening to his bass sounds that it was really pushed. Huh. Oh my god. Let me delete the stuff that I'm not using. So starting point versus where we got. And it's so nice and long too. So, doesn't it sound fairly freaking nice? I'm gonna save the project because I will be using that bass sound, let me tell you. And just to repeat it once again, let me just start from scratch. Let me get another sound. I wanna just run through the same stuff. I know I have sample here. This is okay. This is great. It doesn't have a lot of harmonics, so let me just redo the whole thing. I used to work as a teacher, trust me. I actually do have a teacher's degree from the university, and repetition is important. So once again, let me get Saturn thru. Oi, mate, let me get the Saturn. Okay, so not a ton of harmonics, but it's a very good starting point. Just make sure that you have a good sub. And let's create another band. Right, so leave the sub alone. Let's start roasting this guy here. By the way, you do have these different models that sound different. Dude, are you shitting me, mate? Oh man, I want to get crazy with this. Like, how different is it already? LFO, mapped LFO to this badass. Dude, can you tell that I'm actually excited about music production? Because I am. Listen to these guys. Am I messing something up here? Probably. Great moments of teaching. Ah, this is the one that I'm trying to access. Why can I not? I did it twice. Well, that is amazing. So you could, yeah, you could actually have two LFOs. All right. I mess up a lot, but that's also part of music production. Also teaching. So what else? By the way, what's also useful is you can mute this band. So if I mute the middle band, it's like I'm only getting the sub and this noise. So if this is your thing, it could be. Let me solo this. There's something buggy going on. That's why I just stopped the video once again. Like, I can hear that it's vibrating. Something has been assigned to somewhere, but I literally just cannot see it. I have soloed this band, and it's vibrating pretty hard. And that's not the original sound. Like, I can hear this, and it's not, like, I cannot see any assignments in this band. Let me just, well, oh well. Maybe I'm just... I could be wrong. By the way, it gets fairly punchy. Like, you get this little click sometimes, and you don't want it necessarily. If you want a great transient tool, these days I use this Biff. Let me just solo, and like this shaves off transients or boosts it. So right now I'm hearing what I'm taking out. Let me unsolo. So the whole punch just goes away. So yeah, that is how I use it. And by the way, if you wanted to get even more crazy here, you could even just get another instance of Saturn. That's what I do sometimes, because when you start with something that doesn't have a lot of harmonics, I use one instance to create some harmonics, and if I want to get super filthy, I just get another one, and here I can start from a clean slate, and here once again I could get like more meticulous and get crazy with this. Like, it's a world of endless exploration. And just once again, to compare, I started with this, ended with this. Crazy, right? Anyways, thanks for watching. This is what I do. That I love to do it. If you heard my music, you've heard that I don't do a lot of like super crazy screaming basses. It's more like along the lines of this. And like I said, if you want to go and grab some bass sounds from my Patreon, they are there. And get roasty. Till the next time, guys.